Race number 8 on the programme, and the 8th is the Class 2, the only Class 2 of the afternoon, over the 1,800 metres, headed by Butterfield, who's been beaten favourite on his last 2 starts, including odds on as well. Super Oasis out of the Derby, finished 10th, gets the blinkers on. Zach Purton jumps on board. Enrichment, his only win over 2,000 metres so far, but runner-up on his last 4 starts. Thinking big out of the champion mile last time out. Jerry Chow taking £10 off his back. Uncle Steve back to something like his best with a 3rd last time out. And Righteous Doctrine also finished 3rd over the 1,800 metres at Happy Valley last time out, behind Dances with Dragon. Karis Teaton will ride him. Arrogant has been up at Chung Fa within the last 30 days. But he's had a run since then as well, finishing last time on debut.
Yeah, and he got checked on the turn last Saturday, so just forget he went round Arrogant. Thinking big to lead here for Jerry Chow with the £10 claim. Private Secretary will no doubt roll forward. They were suggesting he was more of a Happy Valley horse, but here they are trying Sha Tin after a few failures. Butterfield should be in close attendance. Enrichment on the rail. Uncle Steve win a much better race last time out. Helena Baby is caught wide there, but he'd be looking for 100 mils of rain prior to the race.
Here is Butterfield down the back straight. Now, he's been running pretty well this season. Winner 4 starts ago, and all his runs have been full of merit and quite tough races. So he goes nicely, and his work's been good. Super Oasis has changed stable, and he's trialled really well from the new stable. He looks good. He did bring some really good form from overseas into the 4-year-old series. The blinkers on for the first time. Zach Purton from Barrow 1. Very interesting runner is Super Oasis. And Uncle Steve, as you mentioned, I thought it was a most improved run from him last time. He's got an ideal draw on barrier 4, and he looks rock hard, solid fit, does Uncle Steve.
All right, being ridden there by Douglas White. That's where we'll start in actual fact, because Douglas not only has Uncle Steve, but thinking big in the race. Here's Douglas with Ed talking about his 2 runners.
Douglas, 2 runners in the Class 2 on the weekend. Let's start off with thinking big. This looks easier than the Champions Mile for him. He's had a couple of runs for you. Are you getting a bit of a guide for what he's like as a horse?
Yeah, I am. You know, he works well enough in the mornings, and I think he ran with a bit of credit in the Champions Mile. He was way out of his league, but he put himself in the race, and he looked like he stayed on. He feels like he's come out of that race and benefited from the run. You know, he was off the track for a long time, and he was injury prone. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and I brought him back as quietly and as gently as possible. He's a really big individual who probably needs a lot of mileage in his legs and to get him to where he has to be. But he's getting there slowly, and I couldn't be happier with the way he's going.
Up to 1,800 metres, his big wins in Australia over there, tripping over 2,000 metres. Is he now getting to his right distance?
I think so. With how he's been performing, both at home and his last run, he's indicated that he wants to step up. His form reads that way as well, but he just hasn't been in a fitness frame to be able to go the trip. So I've had to bide my time and put as much work and racing into him as I possibly could. But as I said earlier, he's in a good frame of mind, and he's ready to step up.
And a ride for Jerry Chow here. Terrific start by him last weekend.
It is a terrific start. It's the start that you want as an apprentice or a jockey or anyone, you know, coming to Hong Kong. There was a lot of expectations on Jerry, and I think he's performed with credit.
Uncle Steve, Douglas, did you expect him to return to form the way that he did last time out?
I did expect him. The betting didn't, though. I think he was way over the odds. You know, I put him on the turf a couple of days before that run, and he was back on song. He lost a bit of form during the mid part of the season, and rightfully so, through a quarter crack. And he's had to get his confidence back and get over that. But slowly and surely he has, and the writing was on the wall last time, and he seems to have carried that form through to this run. He's worked well at home. He's shown me everything's back on song. So we're stepping up to 1,800 this time, and hopefully Chad can get a nice soft run on him and put him to sleep somewhere midfield or worse, and he can attack the line.
All right, good solid rundown on Thinking Big and Uncle Steve there with Douglas White. We'll keep moving though. A few other horses to look at. Enrichment, Righteous Doctrine, amazing beats and Private Secretary here, but Enrichment just so consistent, just can't seem to get his head in front, Tom.
Yeah, he just deserves a win, Enrichment. He's run into Dances with Dragon the last couple of starts there at Happy Valley over 1,800 and 1,650. Back to 1,800 here where he has placed. Just tries so hard. Righteous Doctrine on the inside was on the turf last time out, and he definitely didn't disgrace there. So he could be one that could possibly be entertained as well.
Yeah, I've put Enrichment in. He's so consistent, and his win did come here at Sha Tin.
All right, Amazing Beats next, who has won here, won at odds as well over the 2,000 metres, and ultimately I think that's what he's looking for as well. I couldn't write him off over the 18, Paul, but further the better for him. Yeah,
that's the key, you're right. Blinkers will come off him, the cheek pieces will go on as well. Look, the trial wasn't too bad, but I would prefer him over longer Amazing Beats. Derek's got the amount there, barrier 6 for him.
Kept on okay last time out, just like the way he got to the line there in the trial, looked to be going fairly well. So I got him into the back end of the quartet, Amazing Beats.
All right, Super Oasis, the next and last one we'll look at. 10th in the Derby behind Golden 60, but the form had looked solid coming into the Derby, Paul. He's first up since then with a stable change as well.
Yeah, and look, I really like this trial. He hit the line really nicely. He brought some really good form from overseas before he did get here when he was called Surely Sacred. I think he's really acclimatised now. He's gone through the 4-year-old series, and if he reproduces something like this, I know it's only a trial on a race day, I think he could win this easy.
Yeah, I think he can win as well. He brought some really good form over from Australia and New Zealand, won that trial over World Famous. The horse that was running 4th there in that trial, I think was Perfect to Play, who came out and won that same week, of course. But I do like him here, Super Oasis. He's got some class about him.
All right, well, it seems like punters agree with you both at this stage, Paul, because he's our favourite. On top for you as well?
Yeah, I like him. He's on top for me. I think he can run really well on this. Uncle Steve's better run from him, shows he's back. Enrichment for 3rd, and Butterfield's been running well as well. So 2-8-4-1. Happy to go with the 2, though.
Yeah, 2 on top for me as well. Super Oasis, first up out of the new stable of Ricky Yu to beat 4 Enrichment. 1 Butterfield, hasn't done too much wrong, and 7 Amazing Beats. I've left out Uncle Steve. I want to see him do that again before I include him into the numbers. So 2, 4, 1 and 7.
All right, clean sweep even for the 2 Super Oasis. I've got the same 4 numbers as Paul, in actual fact, in the same order. 2 more races to go then at Sha Tin. Back to Class 3 company for race number 9.